Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. This is Transformative Leaders segment. My name is Migwi, and today we are tackling a very emotive topic revolving around boy child. We are talking about transformation of boys into men. And to help me with this conversation in studio today, I'm joined by Pastor John Kimanzi Kilonzi. Karibu sana to the studio.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Now, when we talk about transforming boys into men, we are talking about empowering them to become responsible citizens. What has been your experience in dealing with the boy child?
Yes, thank you for the invite. Mm-hmm. Yes, I serve at a Boys to Men Transformation Center, mm-hmm. and our main agenda is to see boys getting transformed, mm-hmm. and we have so many challenges that we face, mm-hmm. and one of the main challenge that we face is boys not being able to open up and just to go where they are, mm-hmm. and try to get information, mm-hmm. about the faring in the society is a huge challenge, yes. That we face as a program. Mm-hmm. And these boys, if they get an opportunity to open up, mm-hmm. then they don't open up 100%. Mm-hmm. They always feel like there is that safe place for them. Mm-hmm. And so out of that, then it becomes a huge challenge even to continue, yes. because they have to open up so that you may know what they are going through, yes. so that you may be able to know how best you can be able to come in, uh-huh. and help them to solve their own problems.
So how then do we create that space to ensure that they can open up freely without feeling judged or victimized?
Yes, so in Boys to Men, mm-hmm. Program, we have a very special program of bringing boys closer so that they may be able to open up. And one of the programs that we do as Boys to Men Transformation Center is we have sports, whereby we bring all manner of boys together, empowered, and those that are low away from empowerment. Mm-hmm. And so we bring them together, and as we play football together, as we eat food together, they end up, some of them, opening. Mm-hmm. And so as we continue working with them, mm-hmm. so we use them, those boys that have opened up, mm-hmm. as an example to others, to show them that it is possible. You can open up and you can get help. So one of the things that really helps us is to bring those boys into tournaments. We have tournaments, mm-hmm. we play together football, and as we play together, boys, I've ever noticed some of them even opening up even as they play. So you hear boys saying, wow, and this is what I've been passing through. And so through this forum of boys coming together, I feel like saying it. Mm-hmm. So that's one of our very important activity we do for them to open.
So it's all about creating a chance for communication.
Very true.
Good. Now, what do you think is the impact of absentee fathers in the life of a boy child?
Yeah, as you know, men have been absent, and some of them, they say that they are absent because of job. Others, they are absent because of drug abuse. Some of them are lost in the bus. And because of that, the boy child has no one to run to. And they miss that person whom they can run to, mm-hmm. and pour out their hearts. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, mm-hmm. that leads these boys to seeking help, mm-hmm. or advice from other sources. Mm-hmm. And so one of the sources that the boys run to is internet. And so they may find wrong advices in the internet, and by following those wrong advices, we find themselves getting entrenching themselves into drug addiction, drug abuse, which lead them to drug addiction. And out of that, they do all manner of evil things. And you find them stealing, others doing things that are not welcomed in the society. Mm-hmm. And so that one leads them to become an enemy to police, and it can also lead to that brutality and them being shot by
and
police.
also becoming maybe enemies with the communities
And the society, yes.
Now, does that speak to, or does it beg the question, do we have enough role models that boys can look up to and say, like, I want to be like that man, I want to lead a life that man, a life like the one that man is leading?
So out of the challenge I've already said we are solving as boys to men, absent fathers, we already at that point, we know that we don't have enough role models because men are not available for their male children. And so because they are not available, so they have to look for other ways to make sure that that gap is bridged. And so that's why I've told you they run to places where they're getting wrong advice. So the answer to what you're asking is that we don't have enough role models to role model to our boy child.
Yes.
Yes.
So do you think we are empowering the boy child enough?
Not really. In fact, what I would like to say is that we are not. And if some of us we've just started trying, and we whole society will know that the focus should be on man, and this man, when I was looking into the Bible. In the book of Genesis chapter number 2, and I was seeing how God created man and meant creatures to pass before him as he named them. And the Bible says the names that the man gave these creatures, they are called the same up to today. But there is a verse that says he found no helper. And so the Bible says he created a woman for the man. And so when you look at that, God had intentionally had a good plan with man, and especially in that chapter 2, whereby he comes and gives the real and the first instruction to the man before he created the woman. And so at that point, we can draw the point that God intended that man can get full instruction so that he may give them back to the society. And the society is the wife included and the children. And so if we can really focus on empowering the male gender. I was talking to someone and I was telling him, I have never seen a responsible father whose girl child has never gone to school. But I have seen responsible men whose girl child don't go to school. Like some of men's, we know some of comes from the societies we are living. You look at this man and see that this man is irresponsible. So when you follow up, you find the girl child is not really in school, and the education of the girl child in that home is not a choice, a priority. But any man who is empowered, like me and you who are empowered, we cannot allow boy child to go to school and the girl child be left at home. So when we can focus on making sure that the man gets to know. I was saying, in fact, it's not really about the empowerment of man. It's about reminding man his full responsibility so that he may take those responsibility as God had designed it. And so if we can do that, then the empowerment of the both girl child and the boy child will be at par. Yes.
So then does it also does it speak to the upbringing that a man goes through in as far as taking responsibility is concerned?
Yes, very true. The way the Bible says, the way the child is brought up, it's the way the child will be. So if you bring the child, the boy child, not empowered, is not taught the things that he should do as a man, then don't expect him when he's old enough to do them, because where will he be doing them from? You remember, I'm a teacher also. And we always tell people that children, they learn through imitation, they copy. And so who is there to be copied by these boys? No one who is present. And because they are not present to be copied, these boys, they copy from other sources. And these sources, they are not the best sources for them to get the real information. Yes.
How then do we inculcate a sense of, as we transition those boys now to become men, How do we inculcate a culture of taking responsibility for one's action?
One, if I've gotten you right, for us to ensure that this is happening, we need to ensure that, you know, there is something I was thinking about the, you know, I'm not so young, but I'm a bit old, I'm at 40.
Yes.
And when I was growing up, there is this issue of men. I'm from Cumberland. There is this issue of men being taken by their fathers at the gate. And the women were, yes, they were at home being taught the things of their home by their mothers, and fathers were being taught the things of manhood by their fathers. Yeah. So if this one, you know, this was a good culture, but people have neglected it in the name that we are saved, and we got saved and we forgot those cultures that were so good for us. I am speaking from pastor's perspective, so I'm a pastor as well. So we need to go back and ask ourselves where we fall, because if we can remember where we fall as men and go back and ensure that boy child is taken care of by their fathers, fathers being present, then that issue will be well sorted.
Yes.
Yes.
What about the societal and cultural expectations? Do they influence how these boys are shaped into men later in life?
Yes, very much, because the society of today is focusing on girl child. And so the boy child is left out. And they are saying that boy child has had been empowered fully enough, and so it doesn't need an empowerment. And as I have said, boy child does not need empowerment. He just needs to be reminded of what he needs to do. So that is the empowerment that we boys to men, we are looking and putting our focus into. So that cultural or societal expectation of the boy child has been far ahead, and so we need to bring girl child so that we may bridge the gap. That is what is affecting the empowerment of the both. And so we need to know that everything needs to fall into its own rightful place. And so men need to take their leadership, as the Bible talks more in the books, in the Bible, Ephesians chapter 5, 1 Timothy chapter 3, Ephesians chapter 6, chapter 5, it talks about man being a priest. So we need men to know that they need to take up their position. And if they can take up their position, then that knowledge should be right away from the society. Society should know that.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, talk about mentorship, because if boys are transitioning from boyhood to manhood, they need someone to work with them. What is the place of mentorship in all this?
Yeah, you know, someone, as I said, people copy, and especially, you know, you are dealing with the boys from age 4 to 17. So they copy. And when you are mentoring them, that is part of what we do, mentorship. And this mentorship is all around. So mentorship plays a key role in transitioning. So like when we are done with the boys at the age of 17, I am working with them, but I have to look for this person who will work with them into the next level. And so that's why we work with organizations like Masters Men Africa, which deals with men above 17, all men, but they base more on the age 17 and above. So we have to have a consistent mentor, someone who reminds this young boy of the things that he or she should be able to do. So the presence of a mentor is very key in transitioning. Do
you think it's the high time now the communities took this responsibility and ensure that there are people that work with boys in their journey to becoming men? Yes, in fact we are late. We should have started yesterday to ensure that we work with and I'm challenging the women and those that have a boy child in their home, that they need to ensure that if there is an absent father, they step in and ensure they find a man who is responsible enough. You know, there are values you cannot instill into a boy child if you're a woman. And so you need to look, even if it's an uncle, a brother,
who can be able to work with your boy child. That child who is a boy needs some values from a man. And so the time is now. In fact, it was yesterday. We are even late. And so we need to take that as our key role as society.
How does giving boys responsibilities help them becoming better men as they grow up?
I'm part of that. Someone far back instilled responsibility in me. And I've gone through a lot, even in marriage. And my differences with my wife cannot make me to neglect my responsibility of my children. And so there is nothing that should come to steal that responsibility from any man. And so we need to remind men that despite of anything that comes or happens into their lives as they continue living in the society, there is nothing that should be able to separate them from the responsibilities that God bestowed upon them. Yes.
How can parents now help their children, especially the boy children, to grow up in the right way and transition to becoming responsible people? The parents now, the role of the parent.
Yes, the role of parent.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that I was reading today before I came here was that fathers should not provoke their children. There are things that we do that provoke our children. And there are mistakes that we, even us, are doing, and we are not meant to do them. But we do them because we were provoked by our parents to do them. And so we need first to live, to show a real and a good example as parents. And I'm talking to all fathers that are listening to me, and even to mothers, that you need to take full responsibility and become that role model. You role model the life, the kind of life that you like to see. If you want your boy child, your child who is a boy to live as a responsible man, you yourself, you have first to live as a responsible man. So we need to role model as parents, ourselves first.
Yes.
That is the first step, and it is very important before we speak, before we tell them what they need to do. That's where we've gotten it wrong. Yes, I've worked in Madare for many years, and I find people instead they talk too much and they act less. So we need to act more than we talk.
Yes.
Yes.
So today's boy child, is he empowered enough to handle the already empowered girl child?
The boy child is confused. Is wondering where to stand, because the girl child has been empowered, and this girl child is coming with the thinking that he can do it without a man. And so the man, instead of just getting into fight, then he's pulling back. And so there is a problem that is happening here, because even the girl child who is being empowered is empowered, but is lacking someone to fit in the home. The man is pulling back, because the woman is saying that he has everything and she can do without a man. And that's not correct.
Yeah.
God had designed it to work for two. They have to be together for a family to be called a family. Yes.
Now, let's go back to the aspect of communication. For boys or fathers who have boys right now, what is the importance of having that open communication between him and his child, boy child?
That, in fact, should be the first priority of every father. Yes, no matter how busy you are at the place of work. Because I've been asking myself, if a child cannot open up, if a boy cannot open up to his father or his family, then who else do you think can open up to? So we need to create that environment, that animosity kind of environment that boys, they feel like it is the right place and the right person to say what they are going through. Because when you look at the statistics, we are seeing more men are killing themselves, making suicidal. Why? Because there is no one who can sit down and listen to them. And you know what, my friend? As boys to men, that is one of our priority. We make sure that even if we don't give these boys anything, we lend them a hearing here. So we ensure that we listen to them constantly. And to surprise you, there is one boy who God saved and just chose to follow Christ because he told me he has never been listened to since he was born. And this boy was 17 years. And I have seen this boy getting transformed. And even the mother who was not saved, the father had run away. The father came after the boy had been transformed, and the mother realized that the place of a man is very crucial. So he had to go for the father, and now the family was reunited. And today they are doing good.
Yes.
Yes.
Are there stages to this? Are there stages to where you can say now, when this boy now has matured enough to become a man? Are there stages to the whole process?
Yes. One of the things that we've been saying as boys to men, and I would really like to say it, when we start seeing boys fearing God, they are not, you know, if you have a God-fearing heart, there are things that will not be able to do. Aware of the self, they are aware of themselves, what they are meant to be.
Yes.
They are very important creatures.
Yes.
They are decisive. They are making informed decision, not just sitting and just saying that we are going to steal. They are making decisive decision. They are critical thinkers. They are thinking critically. And also, any problem that arises, you see boy child coming to solve it. That is part of what we see, that this boy child is getting informed and empowered. And they are confident and focused and so resilient. And you know, resilient is that ability to bounce back.
Yes,
yes, they've gone through a lot, but they are able to realize themselves and bounce back and become strong again.
Now, you are a spiritual leader. Now, what is the place of spiritual leaders in the whole aspect of helping boys become better men as they grow up?
Yes, the key place is to ensure that they are connected to the transformer, and the transformer is Jesus.
Yes.
As a spiritual leader. So we ensure that we connect them to the source, because one of our core values is faith, and faith is that we say that our biggest resource is God. So we get everything from God. Any knowledge, every resource, we get it from God. So we ensure that we connect them to the source. So that is the best place. But again, we also create forum for them to meet this Jesus, because someone created a forum for me, and in that forum, I was able to get responsible. I was enlightened and started seeing things in a different dimension, and that's why today I'm empowered. Yes.
What do people need to do as a community to ensure that boys are guided in their life as they grow up to become men?
Yes, one of the things that I want to tell the society and the community is to stop. You know, we are discriminating. We have reached to a point of just placing the girl into forefront and forgetting that we need to pull them together to ensure that they are together. No one is far ahead than the other. So we need to pull out that thoughts of like boy child has been empowered and so the girl child was being neglected, and take them as both gender which need empowerment of God, and they need equal treatment. They need to be equally empowered and equally informed. So the society need to run away from that thought and start embracing the boy child just as they have already embraced the girl child. And it's very true. When you go to the court or any place with an issue and you're a man, yes,
you
will find yourself, the other party is hard on you than they are hard on women. So we need to stop that and treat people. And as I was telling someone that we need to treat people as people so that they may be able to respond as people. So that's what the society needs to do.
Is it that this empowerment holding has been given a negative connotation? For instance, let's say when you are empowering girls, you are empowering them to counter men.
Yes, from our perspective as Boys to Men Transformation Center, that's how we took it. That the girl child, instead of getting empowerment to help, you know, his place, the Bible says he was a good helper. She was to be a good helper. Instead of being given empowerment to become a better helper, is being given an empowerment with connotation that she has been far behind, and so she needs to go ahead. And so that itself is a bad connotation.
Yes.
Yes, so we need to ensure that as we empower women, we refer back to the Bible. What is their responsibility? What do they need to do? And I will challenge men. Men, love your women, love your wives, and wives, please respect your husbands. Yes. And with that, you'll be able to bring up a generation that is very well equipped.
Do you think that we are heading in the right directions in as far as empowering these boys is concerned?
Before this came, I was thinking about what needed to be done. But now I am very happy. In fact, in our country, we must say that we are very blessed, because we have the second in command wife supporting the boy-child empowerment, yes. Pastor Dorcas. When I saw her supporting that, we began our organization before Pastor Dorcas came into power with her husband. Yes. And so when I heard her saying that, I got energy to keep pushing forward. So as Kenya, country of Kenya, we are now getting and entering into the best in the best direction.
In the right direction.
Yes,
so the efforts are bearing fruits.
Yes, they are.
And what would you say are the biggest challenges that boys who are transitioning into men face?
Yeah, one of the challenges that they face, boys who are transitioning, is that they are still not sure whether they are the society is still accepting them, is receiving them. So they are not sure. So they are getting with fear. Yes, they know. The men already know that they are neglected by the society. So transforming them, yes, they are transformed, but you want to transition them. They still have the questions. Is the society still going to welcome us? And so that is the biggest challenge. Because I have said, one of the things that you need to do is self-awareness. You need to know yourself. That self-awareness. So they need to now to change their mind and know that there are people who have come to remind them of their roles, and so the society is ready to do that. And the society should be able to show indicators that they are changing into that. Yes.
What about confidence? Are they taught on how to be self-confident as men?
The boys I am handling, that is one of the topics that we teach them. And on that, I am very happy, because some of them, they always tell me, we'll come and see where you are, the church. I serve with Redeemed Gospel Church, Zimmerman. So they come in church, and I see them presenting in the church. And they were on the street. But now, that is enough confidence. It's true that they are building that confidence, because at the first place to stand before the church and before the members and start saying of your testimonies, that's a plus, yes, to me.
What is the place of culture in all this now? Because we come from different cultures, and each culture has its own way of raising boys. What is the importance of inculcating aspects of culture that help to bring up responsible men?
One of the things that I always say, and you forgive me if I'll get it wrong, is that the best culture as boys to men, I will always refer to boys to men, is the culture of God. The culture that we should follow is what men should be able to do, what women should be able to do, and both of them what should be able to do. So even as we draw our cultures, different cultures, I know we come from different cultural areas. So, but as we focus on that, let's all make sure we draw our cultures to the Bible, to the key book, because that is where we get the correct culture. And the culture says it talks about so many things of how we can be able to transform the world by putting the responsibility to the right people. And so that's what I want to say, because you may go to different culture, they say that a girl child should be able to be done this. When you go to other cultures, they tell you girl child should be able to be at home. So you should ask yourself so many questions. Is that really what is God meant? Because the creator of these cultures, all these things that are happening around us, they were created by God. Yes. So we should always draw our wisdom from the word of God, from God himself. And we'll always make the best cultures ever. Yes.
As we come to a close, what is your message to today's boy child and anyone who is mentoring young boys to become better men?
Yes, one of the things that I want to, I said when I come here, I'll be able to air it out, is that I want to say thank you, Pastor Dorcas, for what you began. That's a good thing. Number two, I want to encourage all men and women who have the heart to ensure that boy child is well taken care of. Keep pushing forward and ensuring that that which you're doing it with due diligence, because it will bear fruit. You are doing it as God would like it to be done, and because that is the mind of God. He wants men to take leadership because He wants them to be priests and to give the leadership that it deserved in the society. Mm-hmm. But to the boy child who is suffering out there, I would really like to tell you that even me, whom is talking to you, was once a boy, and I went through so much, and I felt like I was inadequate of sharing the information. But upon sharing what I was going through, transformation came to my life, and I am whom I am because I opened up and I said what I was going through. So I would really encourage you to, if you have someone who can work with you, please open up. And if you don't have anyone who can work with you, Boys to Men Transformation Center is wide opening its arms to welcome you and to give you a listening ear.
Thank you so much for coming to our show and talking about issues to do with boy child. That was John Kilonzi, who is also who belongs to Boys to Men Transformation Center, joining us here on Transformative Leaders to talk about transformation of boys to men. My name is Mike Migwi. Good morning, Kenya takes a short break. Don't go too far. Vivian will be right back with